Hi, please. Just, it's the spooling of the. Good evening, everybody. February 18th. Welcome to our council meeting here in the city of Mount Pearl. Nice to see the Cadets have joined us for a proclamation, and we'll get you up, ladies, if you'd like to come up. President Milmore, you can come up and speak. You can all come up and speak if you want. And we'll go from there, but not now, sorry. We'll call you up, sorry. Council, you see before you the agenda, and you see some very engaged cadets wanting to come up. So included in the agenda is proclamations and includes Kin Canada Day. So council, before you is the agenda, moved by Councillor Rice and second by Councillor Lane. All in favor? Those opposed? Carried. Thanks. In recognition of the City of Mount Pearl's commitment to foster respectful and collaborative relationships with Indigenous peoples in the City of Mount Pearl and beyond, we hereby acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Beothuk and the Mi'kmaq. Mount Pearl and the broader metro region continue to be home to diverse Indigenous peoples, including First Nations, Inuit, and Métis. Minutes of the previous meeting, February 4th, are before you, council. Before we have any further discussion, could we have a little review and tell us and the city clerk and the administrative assistant if there are any errors or omissions? Hearing none, bang up job as always. I'll call for a motion to adopt. Moved by Councillor Fry, seconded by Councillor Antal. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And now it's time for business arising, if there is any. Well, we've reached the point then, after hearing no business arising, where we are going to talk about Kin Canada. And I'd like to invite our guests up as we work our way through our council meeting to talk about and proclaim, I think the anniversary is February 20th, which is only 2 days away. So Donna, good to see you. You're speaking. Sandra. And Sandra, my Lord. Your middle name, Sandra? Oh, too bad. You get two Sanders. Yep, yeah. Kin Canada has been a vibrant and responsible all-Canadian service organization devoted to serving communities, including Mount Pearl, very well, I might add, across Canada since 1920. Kin Canada clubs and their members have demonstrated excellence, pride, integrity, inclusiveness, and compassion in their pursuit of further enriching our community. Kin Canada is celebrating its 105th anniversary on February 20th of 2025. Therefore, I, the Mayor of Mount Pearl, on behalf of all my colleagues, we feel that all members of our community would welcome the opportunity to celebrate our local club and Kin Canada's rich history of serving our community's greatest needs. With great honor, I do hereby declare Thursday, the 20th of February, Kin Canada Day, and also the week of February 16th, where we are now, Kin Canada Week, as a celebration of all Kin Canada clubs. And further, we encourage all of our community to thank and congratulate our local Kin Canada Club members who gave so generously of their time and talent for the betterment of our region. In witness thereof, I set upon my hand and I caused the seal of the City of Mount Pearl to be affixed. And the pen don't work. So a couple of comments. I'm looking for the microphone. We had a really busy Frosty Festival, and you folks are facing eyes in all of it. Whether you hosted a event, the Battle of the Brains, City Council was competitive. You also served the community well during the festival. I bought many a ticket off you during some of the events. And I know two of our colleagues, Councillor Lane and Councillor Fry, are heavily involved in the Cadets. And I hear too, as a little special thing later on in March, you're going to do something in support of Special Olympics here in the city. So on behalf of council, I want to say we love to do this proclamation. It speaks so much of the community that we are and who you folks are. And Donna, would you like to say a few words in response? And then I might ask my colleagues, who some of them may want to respond to you. Over to you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Donna, and I've been in Connects for over 20 years. I'm a life member, and a life member is, I guess, the biggest thing that can be bestowed upon a member. This year is our 150th year, as you said, and Hal Rogers founded the Kinsmen and Connect Club. The Kinsmen Club of Canada in 1920, and then over the years the Cadets were allowed to join. On February the 22nd actually is our Day of Kindness, which is the closest day to the 20th, and our Day of Kindness is where all of the clubs throughout Canada go out into the community and do acts of kindness and try to get people to pass it on. This year we're really excited to do our Day of Kindness because we've included almost everybody in the community. We've got seniors, we've got the kids, and we've got people who are in need. So we're really excited to be going. And of course, don't forget our pets. I almost forgot about our pets. So we're just going to take everybody and include everybody and support them in some way or another. So we're really excited about it. And thank you for signing our proclamation.
It is my pleasure on behalf of council. Anybody on council want to speak? I'm thinking Councillor Fry and maybe others. Donna, you may as well keep the microphone. I think we're going to have a conversation.
Yeah, I'm a very proud Cadet. And one of the things that drew me to the Connect Club was the motto, serving the community's greatest needs. And the work that I see being done through this organization and the lives that it touches, nobody will ever know. You know, it's big stuff, it's small stuff, and everything in between. And as you mentioned, Your Worship, in March now, we're one of the I guess, sponsorships that we're doing with money that we've raised. We're hosting a dance for the Special Olympics for St. Patrick's Day. So we raise money for through different means. You know, you might see us selling a ticket here and there, which is why we appreciate when you buy a ticket, because all money raised and different projects that we have, all money raised go to our charities. And it's really worthwhile and it's really rewarding. And when you have 22 women come together just for the sole purpose of volunteering and making the world a better place, it's a pretty special thing. So I'm a very proud Cadet, and I really thank you for coming in tonight and for the proclamation. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go to Councillor Lane, please and thank you. Then I'm going to ask where Roy is.
I too am a member of the Connect Club. I'm fairly new, but I just say I'm certainly proud to be in a group of such strong women who are spending their time giving back to the community. And I know that the Connect Club does a lot of great work because I'm involved in some of it as well. And we have a lot of great projects coming up. And not only are we fundraising, but a lot of times our projects are just being a part of the community. Like, we were excited to be a part of the Frosty Festival, not to make money for the club, but to be involved in the community and to help get our name out there as well, because the Connect Club does a lot of great work and we couldn't do it without the members that are in it. And we're always looking for new members to join. And in order to keep organizations such as this ongoing, we need to be able to get some new members to join as well. And so thank you for being here, ladies. Thank you for all the work that you do. I'm glad to be a fellow Cadet with you.
Thank you. One of our goals this year was to make ourselves known in the community, because a lot of times somebody will come up to you and say, I'll tell them that I'm a Cadet, and they'll say, oh, you're a Cadet. No, I'm a Cadet. So we want to get our name, the Connect Club of Mount Pearl, out in the community so everybody knows. Thank you.
Councillor Rice has got his hand up.
I'm going to be short and sweet. I just want to commend each and every one of you, ladies, and the Kinsmen as well. I mean, you do great work in the community, and it shows because, I mean, every event, it seems like now where we go to, the Cadets have a party in our Kinsmen, But the community groups in the city here are so important to support from all aspects of the city and city council, and it's all about supporting the community, and the community groups here in the city are second to none. So I just want to say congratulations.
Councillor Antle, thanks, Councillor Rice.
Well, it certainly is a pleasure to see all you connects. When we see you guys at all the events, you always have a smile on your face, including Councillor Fry and Lane. And it's always a pleasure. You're always there. I think you attend more events than we do. And you do so well for the community. It's so good to see. And I'm certainly happy. Yeah, I'm certainly happy to see you're doing something for the special. They certainly
Yeah,
enjoy that very,
there's a
very
gap.
much. That's a nice thing. It was a little gap in the community. And well done to everybody. I really appreciate you. And even Sandra, good job. I won't say a word, Sandra. Thank
Which
you.
one?
Yeah.
Leave it hanging.
I'm not going to say a word. I
Yeah,
gotta
I
be really nice.
mentioned the Kinsmen, and they're very much a part of, they couldn't make it tonight, but they're very much a part of our community. But I must admit, the Connect Club, I remember going last year and supporting the ladies' night out. Now, you might ask why I'm not a lady, but we were there, all of us in the community, to support you, to support the charitable causes that you have. And it was a great night out, I got to say. So I hope you're doing it again this year. See, it's nonstop. Anybody else? Councillor Locke.
I just want to follow up on my colleague's comments. And Councillor Antle just hit it on the head. It's one thing about all the community activities that you do, and I've seen you at so many events, but I always feel better and uplifted when I meet any of your members. You just exude this love and kindness, and the world needs more of that. So, that's aside from all the stuff you do, you always do with a smile. And you certainly bring that sense of love and kindness to the community of Mount Pearl. And that's what our city was built upon. And you guys continue to be pillars in our community. So I thank you for coming tonight and for all that you do.
Thank you.
Final thoughts, Donna?
I do actually. Thank you for all your comments. We enjoy thoroughly what we do. With regard to Ladies' Night Out, we will be doing again this year. Last year, we raised $24,000, which I think is the most we've ever raised out of one of our projects. And we were able to help, no, what was it? Chess Penny. We gave a big donation to Chess Penny, as well as other things. We have MSCF and Children's Trust, which we support as well. And all in all, we were really pleased to make that amount of money and to be able to pass it out in the community, because we're trying to do more with community now as opposed to our special projects. So hopefully our money will go and will be spent in the community, the rest of it. Thank you.
No, thank you. Let's get a picture, will we? Yeah. That'll be the name of our team. I didn't see hugs on the agenda, but I thought it was fantastic. Very heartwarming. Planning, Engineering, Development Committee report. Councillor Antle, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. No, we have three there on our committee tonight. The first one is regarding the Jackman Drive upgrading. This is a full replacement of our water, sanitary, storm, asphalt, curb and sidewalk. And this contract recommendation is for engineering consultant services. And the requested proposal for upgrading Jackman Drive, full replacement of water, sanitary, storm, asphalt, curb and sidewalk, that closed on February 3rd, 2025. There were 5 submissions were received, with 3 proponents achieving the minimal technical score. Each proponent included options for both part-time and full-time inspection services as part of their submissions. The Planning, Engineering, Development Committee recommends that the contract for full replacement of water, sanitary, storm, asphalt, curb and sidewalk for Jackman Drive be awarded for the qualifying bidder with the highest overall score, Englobe Corp, in the amount of $365,268.75, HST included, and I so move.
Second.
It is moved by Councillor Antle. Thank you, Councillor Rice. And that's the seconder. Any questions, comments? Major project. I look at a consulting piece this large. I know there's a big capital cost coming. Long overdue, one of the first neighborhoods in Newtown. I'm going to call the question then, Council. All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried.
And number 2 is regarding our building and occupancy permit listing for January 27th to February 7th, 2025. The Planning, Engineering, Development Committee recommends residential and commercial building permits issued for the period having a total construction value of $1,315,900 to be approved, and furthermore, the occupancy permit list be accepted and presented. And I so move.
Again, moved by Councillors Antle and Rice that we move all 3 of those items. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And number 3 is the development permit list for January 27th to February 7th, 2025. The Planning, Engineering, Development Committee recommends that the development permits issued for this period be accepted as presented, and I so move.
Moved by Councillor Antle again, seconded. Thank you by Councillor Rice. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And just in particular on that one, I missed this now. You see there's one there for 629 Kenmount Road. It's of interest. It's opposite Avalon Fords for combined gas bar and shop use. So the development permit is there. You'll see something there pretty soon. We'll move forward on number 4. This is our capital works update. Our 2025 maintenance contracts, tenders for our 2025 maintenance contracts are under final review. Crack sealing and CCTV video inspection service will be issued later on in February. And that's everything for our report, Your Worship. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much. Well delivered, concise, on time, expedient. Recreation Community Safety Committee, I think it's Councillor Fry.
Thank you, Your Worship. So the first thing on our agenda is something I think we're all going to want to speak to tonight. It's the 43rd Annual Mount Pearl Frosty Festival that took place from February the 6th to the 16th. It was such a huge success. And, you know, everybody came together, and we want to extend congratulations to our city staff, of course, our Frosty Festival Committee, and the many volunteers for all their work to put these events together. And in particular, I know a lot of people came together to do this. Of course, we have our staff, Allison and Rosie. They did a great job. We also have our Frosty Festival Committee, and you know, we went to a good chunk of these events, but there are some volunteers that seem to be at all of them, and it's just amazing to see. I mean, there's Wanda Tiller. She's at everything. Renee Pendergast. Sherry Philpott, you know, there's so many. Rob, I mean, there's just so. I don't want to start naming people because I'm going to forget somebody. But it's just, you know, when you see these people coming together and putting their time into this to make something so special for our community, that's what is Mount Pearl. And it was, you know, the events were so well attended and so well executed, and I'm just so pleased with the Frosty Festival. A huge thank you to everybody that was involved, including our public works staff too, by the way, because they did a lot of work there as well. So I'm going to close on that because I know some of my colleagues are going to want to speak to it as well.
Sorry, Councillor Rice.
No, I just want to make one comment, is that it was a phenomenal event as usual. Like all the other years were you know, well received and well planned out as well. But this year, with such a change in the city and the city staff and everybody taking it over, seemed like it was exact as it was before. So I know how much planning goes into it behind the scenes, and you know, I just want to say, I guess, to the Recreation and Community Safety Department that did most of the planning. We can't even imagine to begin how many phone calls and how many emails were going back and forth all these past few months, organizing and getting all those groups, even just like the Irish Pub Night, for example. I mean, just getting all those groups, you know, to attend at certain times and stuff like that. So it was a phenomenal event, and like I said, it's all the volunteers and all the committee that did phenomenal work. And because I made one comment about the piping up there all around the Black, and Public Works came down and put that up apparently. So great job by all. So, and we can't go singling people out, but because it was a team effort. So great job.
Councillor Antle.
Your worship. Yeah, we can't say. Yeah, this is, well, I had nothing for the round. I had nothing.
round table tonight.
No round table tonight, your worship. I so move. With Frosty, I tell you, the success is outstanding. Jason, the whole crew, everybody who was involved in the Frosty. I never had a hiccup. There wasn't anywhere. It was so well. I'm involved in a bowling league in Paradise Bowling. And I went there today, and people kept on saying to me, Bill, every time I turned on Facebook, you were there, right? They follow us now. They say all our events are phenomenal. They're all jealous over the things that we have in the city of Mount Pearl. You know, between singing with the seniors, and we sing with the seniors, that's not very good, right? But we go to the party down to the Pentecostal church. There's so many events that we all attend, and we all attended together. You know, and without the volunteers, every time I talked to the volunteers, I kept on saying, you guys make us look good. And our hats off to the volunteers. Isabel, we can't name them all, but there's so many. And we can try. Well, I think Jim Locke, he usually writes them all down, so we'll see how far it goes. But anyhow, thank you very much. Frosty was fabulous. Thank you.
I'll give Councillor Fry as committee reporter here today. She has the last word. Anybody else? Councillor Lane and Councillor Locke, go for it.
Okay, yeah, I'll just sum it up. I met a couple of ladies from not in Mount Pearl at the Frosty Uncorked, and their comments, I think, summarized and summed up everything that my council colleagues just said. They said, in the city of Mount Pearl, you guys know how to do things right. You have a great staff and you have a great council, and I thought that summarized it quite well. So kudos to everybody involved for a great Frosty Festival, the 43rd in its history. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Lane, please.
Thank you, and I'll keep it short as well. But yeah, thank you to everyone involved in the festival. While the city may have played a bigger role this year than in the past, it still was truly a work of volunteers. And you've seen the volunteers everywhere you went. And they truly took time out of their day, and for many of them off their work schedules, they took work off to volunteer for these events. And I think that says a lot about their sense of community. And I truly think here in Mount Pearl, we have the best volunteers because everyone feels such a connection who lives here. So thank you to everyone involved. It was certainly a great festival, and I'm sure next year will be just as great again. So thank you very much.
Yeah, there's a lot of people involved, you know, community groups, for example, the Lions Club, the Cadets, the Mount Pearl Seniors Independence Group, just to name a few. Sponsors, you know, NTV, for example, played a big role. You mentioned the volunteers, and it's hard. I know where Councillor Fry is coming from. You want to start naming names because you're so grateful for their contribution, but the list is so long too. And then you've got the departmental work, you know, the support from Public Works. But I want to just say to Director Collins, you know, kudos to you. This was a very transitionary year with the Frosty Festival because of the way the committee work kind of unfolded. And it's the result of that is a great festival that I think Councillor Rice said did not really look like it was any different than in the past. But I know behind the scenes, you and Allison and Rosie and many others, yes, of our staff had to navigate that change. And I think it reflects that we're very engaged with the community. And the community's needs are changing. And we'll have our evaluation like we always do. So kudos to the department. I hope you will pass that on to your staff. I know you will, and I mean that sincerely. It was a great job. Councillor Fry, back to you. Thank you.
Okay, just to be clear, I really appreciate everybody. Everybody, all the volunteers, all the staff, everybody. Community groups, everybody. No, all jokes aside, it was a fabulous event and one that we are very proud of, and I think our residents are equally as proud, and that's the most important thing. So next on our agenda, we have the replacement of starter blocks. So the committee was advised of the requirement to replace the starter blocks in the pool due to wear and tear. These starter blocks being one of the many components of the aquatics program. There were 3 quotes received, one of which was an incomplete bid package and was disqualified. The other 2 vendors provided bids that met specifications as per the bid package. So Aquapulco Pools, they came in at $78,242 plus HST. Water and Ice came in at $76,312. And the incomplete one came in at $64,107.76. But of course, that one was declined because it was incomplete. So the committee recommends approval to award to the lowest bidder, Water and Ice, which is a Canadian company, by the way, in the amount of $76,312 plus HST based on the quotes, procurement process, and budget allocation. This amount is within the RCS 2025 budget, and I so move.
Moved by Councillor Fry, thank you, and second by Councillor Locke. Director Collins, this largely serves the Marlins of the world in the local swimming scene. What is a KDI Paragon Long Reach?
It's the starter block, so if people can envision, say, the Olympics, it's what the swimmers start on and jump into the pool. The summit is 10 years old, a little over 10 years old this past November, and this is essentially part of our asset management program of starting to replace some of the pieces of it.
So what will happen to the old ones?
They will be discarded.
Council, any further questions? Thank you for that, by the way, Director. I'll call the question. All in favor and opposed? Carried. Thanks.
And I'll take up the remainder of our committee report, Mayor. In line with the swimming pool, the next item has to do with the replacement of our diving board. As Director Collins just mentioned, it's hard to believe that 2014 is when the pool opened, and it's time to replace our diving board. So we had 3 quotes received, and just a note there that we're going to replace it with the identical replacement for the existing diving board to ensure that it aligns and all specifications meet the anchor pattern and so on and so forth. So we had 3 quotes received. They're listed there, and our committee is recommending approval toward the lowest bidder, meeting all specifications. And again, a Canadian company, as Councillor Fry said, Water and Ice, and the amount is $29,882.46 plus HST. And this too is in our RCS 2025 budget, and I so move.
Moved by Councillor Locke and seconded by Councillor Fry. Thank you. Any questions? All right, I'll call the motion. All in favor? Contraminded? Carried. Thanks.
And our last item, Mayor, is an update with respect to our community safety plan. For public awareness, in addition to the ongoing recruitment for the steering committee for the community safety plan, public safety plan, the following information has been added to our city's website. So if you go to our city's website under the section Safety, you can access the link on the main page under Residents, and again, the section of Safety, and you'll find links to municipal enforcement, quarterly statistics on incidents and citations. I'm delighted that this is up here because at the meeting we had, the public meeting or community discussion we had in December, one of the residents asked about our statistics and the role of our MEOs, and I said, we'll happily display it. We get them regularly at our committee meetings. So that is now up there. And you can see it's quite a lot of activity that our MEOs undertake, and they do a great job doing that. There's some information there about our neighborhood watch programs. Again, we have many successful programs throughout the city. So for those who want some further information there, some information and tips on road safety, and the community safety resources section, which links to the community conversation on public safety, winter safety, a guide for parents, safety snowplow activity book, our winter driving tips, and road safety tips for kids. So again, just to follow up for our meeting in December, we meet, every 2 weeks with Justice, Department of Justice, and other stakeholders, and we're in the process of finalizing the steering committee for the development of this community safety plan. And I think, announced last week that we received some funding from the provincial government in the tune of $75,000 to help spearhead and lead that project. And the media a couple of months back, Happy Valley Goose Bay also developed a community safety plan. But while there's a template there, each one of these community safety plans are tailor designed to the specific community. So hence, our steering committee. So various stakeholders between schools and our, safety committee that we have in the city already, some staff members, some council, represented on council, and then we'll work together to develop a plan. And when we get that done, of course, we will bring that back here to the public chamber. And that's just an information update, Mayor, and I thank you.
Thank you very much. We're going to now turn to the final committee report, Corporate Services and Public Works. Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Worship. Our first item on our agenda is our invoices for approval. We have 16 items on our agenda for approval, and as you see, there's some of our items there for payments for Frosty Festival, which we just had. So the committee recommends that the following invoices totaling $200,544.91 be approved for payment, and I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Rice, seconded by Councillor Lane. Thank you. All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried.
Our second one is our payment register and purchase card report. This is for information of council. The following payment register for January 31st to February 12th, 2025, totaling $703,769.37, and the purchase card report for December the 26th, 2024, till January 25th, 2025, totaling $195,931.11. That one is there as well. Any questions on those? If not, I'll move on to number 3. Number 3 is our travel request for Mayor Aker to attend the Urban Municipalities Committee, the UMC meeting in Marystown, NL, Newfoundland and Labrador, from March the 28th to March the 29th, 2025. So the Corporate Services and Public Works Committee recommends approving the travel request for Mayor Aker to attend the UMC meeting in Marystown, Newfoundland and Labrador, from March the 28th to the 29th, 2025, and I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Rice, and thank you. Seconded by Councillor Lane. Comments? I'll call a question. All in favor? Opposed? And that's carried.
Thank you, Worship, and I'll pass the next 3 items over to my colleague, Councillor Lane. Thank you.
The next item on our agenda this evening is the professional development request for Deputy Mayor Kiley, Councillors Locke, Fry, Rice, and Lane to Federation of Canadian Municipalities FCM Annual Convention in Ottawa, Ontario, May 29th to June 2nd, 2025. The Corporate Services and Public Works Committee recommends approving the professional development request for Deputy Mayor Kiley, Councillors Locke, Fry, Rice, and Lane to attend the FCM Annual Convention in Ottawa, Ontario from May 29th to June 2nd, 2025, and I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lane. Thank you. Second by Councillor Rice. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
The fifth item is a travel request for Mayor Aker for Federation of Canadian Municipalities FCM Annual Convention in Ottawa, Ontario on May 29th to June 2nd, 2025. The Corporate Services and Public Works Committee recommends approving the travel request for Mayor Aker to attend the FCM Annual Convention in Ottawa, Ontario from May 29th to June 2nd, 2025, and I so move.
Moved by Counselor Lane again and second by Counselor Rice. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
The last item on our agenda is the Public Works Status Report. The following status report is provided for information. Under Roads Division, winter shift schedules are underway. Work continues with the outdoor rinks. Snow removal continues on sidewalks, streets, cul-de-sacs, fire hydrants, islands, etc. Parks Division, trail maintenance and grooming underway. Fleet Division, service and maintenance continue. Winter equipment maintenance is ongoing. And new 1,200-pound vehicle service ramp installed. UTM Division, general calls, water and sewer repairs. January 2025, we set a record low for that month with our water consumption of 340,985 cubic meters, which beats a record of 372,033 cubic meters set back in January 2020. That's 31 million liters less. So that is extremely impressive. And I think that has a lot to do with our leak detection that we have here in the city, which is bar none. So that's just very impressive. Glenn, has there been any other contributing factors that led to such great levels this year, do you think?
So that's a great question. Part of it for sure is definitely related to our capital works upgrades. So anytime we replace any older infrastructure, it's almost inevitable that the older sections of the city would have a tendency to leak more. So it's a combination of our leak detection and upgrades to our capital works projects, for sure. That's making a difference in our leak detection in a whole.
Yes, excellent. And the water levels at Bay Bulls Big Pond as of February 11th, 2025 are attached to council, as you can see, and the levels are still quite well. And that's the end of our report this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Council and Councillor Lane. We're going to move to the roundtable now, but I think the roundtable is pretty much over. We talked a lot about the Frosty Festival. Does anybody else, Councillor Lane, have anything else to bring up?
No, I think I'm fine to pass on the roundtable this evening.
Precedent-setting handoff. Councillor Fry.
Well, you know I'm going to have something.
On that
This is just a reminder to residents that the registration dates for the Easter Explorers Day Camp is fast approaching. Registration for residents is Monday, February the 24th. And of course, as always, proof of residency is required prior to registration day. And open registration will take place on Wednesday, February the 26th. And that's it for me, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Councillor Locke.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple. I'm going to take a little longer, and I won't look at Councillor Antle when I do this. I just want to mention to our residents that our free ski and snowshoe rental program is back up and running. Weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. and weekends from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., weather permitting. You can go to the Powers Pond Boathouse and get free cross-country skis. You can borrow cross-country skis and snowshoes for free and get out and enjoy some of the beautiful scenery that we have in our city. The other one I wanted to mention, Mayor, and this sort of follows what Councillor Lane was speaking about with the 31 million liters less that we've used in January 2025 compared to 2020. The province, a couple of weeks back, perhaps it was last week, announced the Climate Change Challenge Fund, the money that will help not-for-profits, municipalities that may want to switch operations that are more climate friendly. And I attended that particular event and I passed it on to our staff, and we're certainly exploring options there. But I spoke to a few folk at that particular announcement, and I highlighted like some of the things that we do here in the city of Mount Pearl, and they were absolutely shocked. And I listed, just from memory, all the initiatives that the city of Mount Pearl has undertaken that have reduced our impact on climate. And they said, one person in particular, how come you guys aren't promoting this? And we do a lot, but we just sort of fly under the radar. We do it because we know it's the right thing to do. So I know Director Dalamont mentioned about our capital works and our leak detection, but also I'd like to give some credit as well to our residents who have also adopted and bought into the plan of the city and the vision of council to be environmental stewards of our drinking water, because we know it's finite, it's not unlimited. So our residents have also been taking action to conserve water, preserve water where they can. So I just want to highlight again that the city does so much, and maybe we can start sharing all the stuff we do. I mentioned at the Summit Center, and I think it was 40 wells that were dug in the parking lot up there for geothermal heating, and the fact we get this huge cistern that collects rainwater. We haven't used any potable water in our Zamboni or our toilets or our urinals. That's all captured rainwater that's filtered and used there, saving thousands and thousands of liters of fresh drinking water, but we don't do. We have our electric, ice resurfacers. I grew up calling them Zambonis, but we just got a new one that we named a couple of weeks back. Our urban forestry plan, our tree planting every year. I mean, the list goes on and on and on what the city of Mount Pearl does to contribute and do our job to protect our environment. I know I went on long around, at the round table here, but I just wanted to build on what Councillor Lane said, because it should be celebrated, and our residents need to know that collectively we are doing a great job to help reduce our impact on the climate. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, Councillor Antle gets to take over the roundtable.
Well, I didn't have anything, but I held up my book. No, I only got one thing, and only came up after the committee. At our committee meeting today, Director Batt might be able to help out. I'm pretty much sure February we had our lowest record ever on water consumption. We brought it up in committee today, and I think you might want to elaborate on it a little bit, Scott.
Yeah, you're correct, Councillor Antle. We're our record low for this month, and we're trending that way going forward. We expect to be setting record numbers as a regular occurrence. 2 comments earlier, the leak detection, but also, expanding our low pressure zone has helped reduce water consumption in Mount Pearl. So there's a lot of great initiatives going on.
All good? Okay, thank you, Director, and Councillor Antle. Over to Councillor Rice, and I'm coming back to Councillor Lane.
Thank you, Your Worship. Now, while we're on the conversation of regional water and regional service, I just want to, the numbers don't lie. I mean, through like 31 million litres compared to 2020. I mean, that's unreal, right? And, the conversation, around the table right now, where we have regional conversations on water and the supply of water going forward for the region, because, I mean, the region of the Northeast Avalon is growing, right? People are moving in there, populations are getting, we're looking for land and moving, and we're developing. So the conversations, as we look at all the numbers that the city of Mount Pearl has here, it's so important, to have those numbers out, because it certainly makes it, certainly visible to what we're doing here in the city with the UTM. And like Director Dalamont said, it's all contributed to our multi-year capital plans and replacement of our storm sewer and sanitary and water, So every year we got 3 or 4 projects on the go. But I know we do have some infiltration of our water into our sanitary too in some areas, and hopefully we'll get those corrected. So, great work being done, and I just want to say congratulations to everybody that's certainly helped. And what Councillor Locke has mentioned, I mean, we do such good work here in the city, and it shows. I mean, other municipalities are looking at what we're doing, so we're certainly a leader in that area. So I want to say congratulations again to everybody that's taken part in that. And the second one I want to mention, it's short and brief. It's our taxation. Our first bill for 2025 went out, and the deadline for that one is February the 28th, 2025. And I know there's certain people that we got I think it's 25% for seniors that meet the criteria for that one. But, so just mention that the deadline is 28th of February to get your payment into the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Rice. Councillor Lane, what do you think about those ice rinks the city has built, eh? And I got to say, Director Dalma, getting them up and ready despite all the weather, it's great when you got families and you want to skate, get outdoors, Councillor Lane.
Yes, it certainly is, Mayor. I know they've been well utilized since they've been up and running, and the weather's been a bit temperamental this year, so it took a little bit longer to get them on the go. But now that they're going, they're certainly being well used. And I know I work at a school, and I hear the kids talking about going to the rink after school to go play some hockey during the allotted times or to go for a skate. And they're certainly excited that they're up and running. I also wanted to mention a big congratulations to Mount Pearl resident in Husky, Emma Neville, on receiving the Conservatory Canada's Medal for Excellence in Level 7 Contemporary Voice. She was awarded for the highest mark in the province of Newfoundland Labrador. And she was also a recipient of the Helen Ingram Memorial Scholarship. So way to go, Emma. Emma actually is my next door neighbor, and I've known her since she was just a little baby. So to see how much she's accomplished is certainly very impressive. So congratulations, Emma.
Thanks, everybody. Good conversations, a lot of good things happening. A lot of hard work has gone into just getting to this meeting, and we'll be prepared for more hard work for the rest of the year. So we're done. So on a motion of Councillor Locke, thank you, and second by Councillor Lane,